of these things. And today we are continuing from the philosophical foundations of the curriculum. That's any curriculum you see around. It didn't just come on a silver platter, or it didn't just happen in a vacuum. The developers followed judiciously some laid out principles. They've had to follow some rationalities to be able to come up with a good curriculum. And so before you'll be able to interpret the curriculum and implement it as it is expected or develop it as a teacher, you are supposed to have in mind these philosophies. That is why it's very important we look at them. Right. So in this, we are going to look at 5 philosophies. And please try to avail yourself. Don't exit. If your friend is not around, kindly tell your friend to come. Because where we are getting to, it's like we are getting to the deep of it. Good. So we shall look at these 5 philosophies. And there are so many philosophies that underpin a curriculum. But then we are just looking at these 5 alone and look at other issues, other interesting issues in the curriculum. So the term curriculum, we know was taken from Curiri, and most of these words are foreign to us. Latin word Curiri. And so in the same way, the term philosophy also emanates or was derived from 2 Greek words, that's philos and sophia. That is wisdom and love, okay, or love and wisdom. So philo, philo, love. Then sophia, which is wisdom. And so anytime you are talking about philosophy, then you are looking at the love one has for wisdom. Better still, the attention and the devotion people try to think through issues to be able to find solution to problems. And so I will ask, what then is wisdom? What then is wisdom? Yes. So is there anyone to help us understand what you understand by the term wisdom? What is wisdom?
So, I think wisdom is the rightful application of knowledge.
Okay, rightful application of knowledge. That is 8/10. That's good. That is good. Who else? Who else? Oh, so you just go to your school and someone just meets you, or you are just passing by and someone meets you and say, "Oh, sir, can you please tell me what wisdom is?" What will you tell the person? All right, so let us think about it. Now, in the Bible, we had someone whom we all said the person was the most wisest among all humans who lived at the time, and even in our time too. I think he is, if he was to live during this era, I would say that he was the wisest of all, because God asked him, "What do you want? Do you want the riches of the world? Do you want the Lamborghini? Do you want all the beautiful and luxurious cars?" He said, "No." "Do you want all the structures, beautiful structures? Should I take you to Dubai? Should I give you the entire land of Dubai? Should US be yours? Should UK be yours?" He said, "No, I don't want all of these." But then you only requested of one thing, wisdom. So that tells us how good it is when someone is wise. And when you are wise, it's really beautiful. And we're able to, so that one is a factor. Then we also had when he sat on a case between two women in the Bible, and these women, he was able to decipher that one was lying, or one because had slept on the child. That is why he was advocating that the live child should be killed. And so he was able to do that. So wisdom here basically uh, collaborates with what our senior and our teacher also said, that wisdom is one's ability to discern through issues and find solution. You see, and so we have wisdom. And so before you design the curriculum, you ask yourself, what is the rationale behind it? What is the wisdom behind the curriculum? And so all the curriculum, all the curricula you see around, they didn't just come like that. They were informed by some of these things. And so a philosopher is a lover of wisdom, someone who loves wisdom. So here it means that philosophy will be someone. So we're referring to someone's perspective of life. The person has now discerned through certain things and has been able to now come up with something that all of us agree to be the case. Now we accept it. And so Abuaje also continued to say that philosophy is the rational investigation into certain fundamental problems, the nature of man, and the way he lives. So once we are humans, there are certain things we will have to be thinking about some of these things. And you need to invest much to do some rational thinking to be able to know what is the case, what is not the case. So we see in our daily lives, we all apply our wisdom. That is why it will be very painful for us to see that someone has been educated, all right, but the way the person is thinking is like someone who isn't educated at all. But all of us, once we are humans, we have the ability to think. So Wales and Bundy have also said that the curriculum is a determinant that helps in answering questions and making decisions from among the many choices that are available to the curriculum developer or developers. So answering questions. Why do I want to design this curriculum? Who do I want to come on board and help me design it? Who will benefit from it? Why can't it achieve its purpose? What are the things that we will need to have? So these, you are answering questions. You need to be able to invest your time to be able to do all of these things. Then making decisions. Okay, so after answering the questions, you now get answers to the questions, and you now make decisions based on whatever you have discovered or you want to do. And so knowledge of philosophy here will help you, the teacher, to be proficient and also to be more efficient in your teaching and learning. That is why I ask, so what is your philosophy of teaching? What is your philosophy of life? If you don't have some of these things, please let us start thinking about some of these. And in academia, we have so many of them that will guide us. And so one of the philosophies that we are starting to look at is the perennialism, or the perennialist school of thought, or their ways of thinking. And when you pick the philosophies, they have their views in general now. They have their views about the curriculum. They have their views about the role of the teacher. They have their views about the role of the students and what even the education system is supposed to do. And so that's what we are going to look at and be expecting that. So for perennialism, the word was taken, or yes, it was taken from the word perennial. And what do we mean by perennial? In our life, we hear perennial crops, and you can mention the coffee, the cocoa, and those produce that can live or that can survive for a very long time. You can mention how do you call it? Even orange, yes. They are very they have very long lifespan. And so that is where it is coming from. So for perennial, it means everlasting. That's why I say perennial crops. I hope you know you remember the crops we learned in basic schools and SHS. So that's it. So it is the oldest perennial. That's perennialism is the oldest philosophy, and they also have something to say about the curriculum. According to them, reality or knowledge can be obtained from our mental faculty through the power of reason or rationalism. Thus, we as humans, because we have the ability to think, we are able to descend through issues. We are able to descend through experiences, and we are able to bring all of these things together to make one body of knowledge. And that is why you hear that okay, that's why in the olden days when you are just playing with someone, the person asks you, do you sleep on pillow? Do you sleep on pillow whenever you go to rest? And some people today will tell you, okay, let me go and think about it. I'll get back to you on that. And I have used that one and it has really helped me. At a point in time, I was making a very tough decision. And I didn't have to make any rush. So I only went, slept the following day. I just as I find myself lying down there, I was thinking about the issue. Now I was able to think through perfectly, and now I was able to get solution to the problem. I went and perfectly about a month later, I saw the fruit of that thinking I did. And so our ability to think is a beautiful gift that we have. So perennialists believe that some ideas have also lasted for so long, over the centuries, that these things are still relevant to us. Just like we saw in the New Testament, that's the the Sabbath curriculum. The Sabbath curriculum that I gave you some time ago, that I think in our first meeting. So this knowledge have existed for so long, and we think they are of no value to us today. And they are still relevant. Such knowledge are still relevant. So perennialists base their teachings or their belief on the fact that man is a rational being. That man is someone who thinks. So if that's the case, then we should allow people to be thinking about through some of these things. And so it requires that the aim of education is to develop in learners or in the individual the capacity or the tenacity to be able to reason and use their mind to think. So you see that I said this one appears to be building or focusing more on the cognitive domain. And you can get some proponents like Robert Maynard, all of them, they are there, Alan Bloom, they are all scholars who supported this idea. And their views about the curriculum is that human nature, so human nature is the same everywhere. That's what they are saying, that when you look at humans, our nature, it is the same everywhere. And so education should also be the same everywhere. You see where this is coming from. So this will tell you that the curriculum we are using in the country, where someone is in Kumasi is using the same curriculum. Someone is in the Volta is using the same curriculum. Someone is in the north, in the western region, in the Bono. All of them are using the same region. Someone is in Accra City. Someone is also in Fabode Betomechok. Someone is in Onyomi Onkpoto. For them, when one car passes, by the time they will see the next, it is about 2 days. Because when the car goes, the road is not good. The car wouldn't be able to return. So we'll have to wait and bring people the following day. And that is what they do. By the time they'll get to town, their vehicles have spots. And so they suffer a lot. It tells you how typical village that the place is. Okay. So but the developer is saying that people are the same everywhere. People, the ones you see here, they are also the same there. But is that the reality? Those down there, those in the villages, are they the same as those here? They are all the same. Blood is running through, but then they may have some challenges. There are some amenities that those in the cities will get, or some advantages those in the cities will get as compared to those in the villages. So they believe that the curriculum should be constant and permanent. That's why you see that one curriculum can be used for a very long time, until a new government will come where there will be the pressing need for them to make some reform or introduce a new one. And that's it. So they also believe that the curriculum should be subject centered. So you see here, you are trying to make people an expert. But you see that at the end of the day, this curriculum is going to emphasize the core curriculum. And they also emphasize classical subjects. And the curriculum emphasizes the great books. And these books have left for so many years, and we told they have a list of about 100 essential texts. These knowledge have existed. So perennialism. And they stress the need for learners to study a highly academic curriculum, which emphasizes grammar, rhetoric, logic, and classical as well as modern languages, as well. And you can also talk about mathematics. So you see, this knowledge or these types of knowledge or subjects have existed for so long. I said from the time people started learning, they were doing some of these basic things. If we are to bring in the new first or the substitute curriculum, then we shall say that maybe in there they were looking at some of these things. They're doing some basic things in there. And so this knowledge have existed for so long. They have existed for so long. They also point out that some important ideas have existed for more than 1 century. Perennial. Some knowledge have existed for so long, so many years. But then all of these knowledge are still important. You don't say that they are not important. Of course, for now, we live in the AI era, artificial intelligence era. And so probably the tempest of the season or whatever is happening to us now may demand that we bring something new on board. But people are saying, no, some knowledge have existed for so long, and this knowledge, they are still important. And so need to be treated in the classroom. You need to talk about them. Do you say that mathematics is not important? 1, 2, 3, like learning how to count 1, 2, 3 is not all that important. The knowledge has been the system for so long, but we need to do it. Reading, the S O so, G O go, L O lo, all of them have been the system for so long, but they are still relevant to us today. Extracting poison from food. I am sure this knowledge didn't just start about 2 decades ago or 2 centuries ago, but from the beginning of human settlement or civilization. This knowledge have existed for so long. And so they cover topics on fiction, drama, poetry, science, mathematics, religion, politics, and a whole lot. And the perennialists are also interested in the study of the Bible. Why? Because the Bible is one of the classical documents. It has been in the system for so long, and its knowledge has not changed. Although some people tend to twist it, they will tell you drink but do not get boost. People try to contextualize some of the tests to suit their own beginning, but then the truth in there do not change. And they believe that truth is eternal and everlasting and unchanging. That is why the Bible is so important document to the perennialists. The perennialists also believe that the curriculum should focus on the great ideas that have survived through time and are related to present day. So we hear about don't sink. Don't sink when you are bathing. This knowledge has been the system for so many years. You see that this knowledge is still important to us today. They tell you, oh, when you sing, your mother will die. Eh, I don't know those who mothers have died or their fathers have died as a result of they singing in the bathhouse. And the rationality is just simple. Looking at the soda and the ingredient, the hot ingredients and poisonous ingredients they have been using to manufacture the soap. When you sing and some just enter your body, you can see the problem it could cause. So if that's really the case, then no one should sing. Let us try to find a way to attach it. Something that you love and you wouldn't want to lose. We attach some fear behind the person you love to be able to protect you. So that's what they did. They also believe that education is not primarily concerned with producing future workers, but should emphasize learning for its own sake. Of course, education is meant for future. But for this group of thinkers, they are saying that, oh, education we shouldn't be thinking about the future. Then say you are just learning for the future. So just learn. Just learn. Learning is a whole appetite on its own. It is a whole delicacy on its own. So you just learn. Whether you are going to school, whether you are employed or you're not employed, continue to learn. That's what they were saying. So for them, they don't fancy, oh, I am learning to go and do this thing. But if you have the luxury of time, just concentrate on whatever you are doing, learn. And so that's why these people will tell you, oh, for me, I am on retirement now, but for the joy of learning, I want to continue with my education. And there are some people who, whenever they want to sleep, that's when you see that they will go and pick their reading materials. Please, if you are here and you've printed your reading materials, don't use this one as sleeping tablet. Don't use it. Just learn for your own learning sake. So their view about the school is that the school should develop in students the ability to think critically and analytically, rather than focusing on temporal issues such as social skills and current trends. So just let people do critical thinking than involving themselves in what do you call current affairs and current. So what is within your immediate surrounding? We shouldn't be interested in that. So for these people, you see that they are not all that interested in, oh, what is the what's the norm for the day, what is happening. They are not interested in such things. They are rather focusing on presenting you with practical issues to be able to develop some of these critical and analytical thinking abilities. That's what they do. So students should enjoy reading. But it's unfortunate that some people don't like reading. And last time ago, I was conversing with one of my, I was, in fact, actually, we were group and conversing, and because students these days have taken themselves to social media, TikTok, and other things, the way students are writing research these days, it is so alarming. Students should enjoy reading. Some of them, they know themselves, man, know thyself. They know that they are slow learners, but they will never make time to go and do any reading. They will never do such things. They will wait when it's about 2 weeks to exams. That's when you see that they are getting
2 is
serious.
course.
Yes, 2 weeks course. when it's about 2 weeks or a week to exams, that's when you see that they are learning. Some of them will tell you, oh, for us, we are fast learners. So when they come and they want you to talk about whatever you have learned in classroom, then you see that you are fumbling. By that 2 weeks time, you'll not be able to grab all the concepts. That's where you see that the person will write, I am this. So philosophy is, then you see them chipping in or leaving some blanks for the lecturer or for the assessor to come and continue for them. So people don't like learning. If whatever they are discussing will just boost their dopamine, then they will gladly embrace it. But if whatever they are talking about is not going to help them, like they will not do it. So students must be questioned and probed until they discover the truth in the test selected. So people should be able to do this. So this type of philosophy will emphasize that people should do close reading to be able to grab concepts. That's why at times you see that some lecturers and some teachers will want you to provide, if you want to quote something, quote it verbatim as it was stated. Now, it is a philosophy they are following. It's not their fault. Students should study the great works of history, literature, philosophy, and also science. And they also believe that the teacher should help the student to develop their power of reasoning. So this is their views about the student and the teacher. That as a teacher, you are a facilitator. In a course of facilitating, be asking critical questions. Be involving or be giving your students questions that will help them or will sharpen their reasoning abilities. And that is the perennialist view for you. So teacher, if you want to follow that idea, follow the ideas that have existed for so long, help the people to be able to become critical and analytical thinkers, you need to help them build their reasoning abilities. And here, you, the teacher, if you don't know what you are doing, you are doomed. It will boil down to the methods you are going to use to teach. Are you the type who will always want to be doing all the things in the classroom? If that is not you, then you need to find a different way to develop the power of reasoning within your students. Having looked at the perennialist view, we come to pragmatism. And the word pragmatism was derived from Latin root or etymology, which is pragmatus. Pragmatus. And its Greek form is also pragmatikos. So this one is possible multiple choice question. The Latin word pragmatus, then the Greek word pragmatikos. And it basically means to do or to practice or to make or to accomplish something. For this philosophy, it defines truth and knowledge in terms of experience and practical consequences. So, what do we say this is knowledge? Knowledge is something that you have been able to engage yourself in. You've been able to live that life and now been able to gather some experiences, and now you are talking with facts. You meet people and the way they talk, you see that these people, the person appears to be very young, but the way the person speaks with confidence, it appears the person has lived for so long. So they believe in some of these things. They believe that you need to be practical. You see that here they will not be focusing much on theories. They wouldn't be talking about facts. They want to see people demonstrating whatever they are supposed to do. And so you see that this will also call for hands-on learning. Pragmatism, the pragmatists believe that thoughts or ideas must be translated into action. So that's why we say action speaks louder than words. Someone is able to think, will tell you, oh, this and that, but when you ask them, put it into practice, you see that they are fumbling. Such people will have their cognitive domain developed to the detriment of, let's say, the psychomotor domain and the affective. And so, whatever knowledge, whatever idea you have, you should be able to translate it into something tangible, something so real for you to be able to talk about. So pragmatists suggest that the value of an idea lies in its actual consequences, what you're able to do with it. And among the components, we can talk about Sanders, Pierce, we can talk about William James and John Dewey, and a whole lot of other scholars. They are all pragmatists. For them, they are saying that the student must be seen as a whole organism who constantly interacts with the environment. So we are all product of the environment. We are all responding. We are all interacting. We respond to whatever the environment will give to us. And so if that's the case, then we need to be able to get knowledge that will be able to help us live well and peacefully within the environment. And here, the student is seen as a biological, as a psychological, and social being who brings to the school his or her values and experiences. And these experiences make up the person's personality and also make them have some of these unique things. So they are just responding to the environment. They respond. Someone comes to school, the person that does not have money, the person, you see the way the person talks in classroom, you see that this person is just maybe coming from a village somewhere. I'm not saying that if you're coming from a village, you are this, but then due to the way the person puts certain behaviors, you see that, oh, this is what has made the person. Okay, so people who have stayed at the, let's say, the seaside, because when they go to sea, they want to communicate to people, they shout. You are likely to encounter some of these learners in your class where they are just saying something simple or something so soothing to you, but then they'll be shouting on top of their voice. It's not their fault. It's because of the environment they are coming from. So I know one woman. I think the woman was raised at one central region, yes, one of the sea town where you can locate the sea. This woman, even when she meets you and she just wants to talk to you, oh, how are you doing? Hey, how are you? So it will be like she's teaching about 500 students in a class. You see, so the person has just responded to the environment, and whatever the person's life is made up of is being influenced by the person's environment. And the pragmatists also believe that the teacher is a facilitator or a guide, and the teacher is a ranger of the experiences. So the students will have gone through some of these experiences, but then you will help them to tailor or to shape the experiences. And there are times to we, the teachers, we need to come up with activities that will help them to be able to get some of these experiences. So the pragmatists believe that knowledge is hypothetical and changing constantly, and it is experienced. It's experienced. So by the hypothetical, it means it is not factual. It is not. It does not have any evidence. But then we think that this is what is the case. Until we will be able to test it, we don't accept it to be a fact or this is the case. We don't say that this is the case. Knowledge also keeps on changing. So right now we just discovered that the planet is not spherical as we know, but it's rather four square. So it is rather a square. Now, if we should get evidence to support our claim, it becomes knowledge. It becomes a fact. It becomes reality. And now you see that you already or initially having in mind that the Earth is spherical has now changed to square. So knowledge constantly changes, and it is something that we also experience. So today you just go online and you see people talking about relationship issues. I think that has been one of the norms. One of the things everybody can just go online today and will be sharing their experiences. And such people, most of the time, they have gotten broken hearts. Their heart has been torn by some people, and they are using such things, such experiences to come and educate people on some of these things. So be mindful of whatever you consume from the internet is very key. So for pragmatists, they also stress the experience curriculum, and they believe that the curriculum should focus on the interest of the learner. We need to be able to experience the curriculum, experience it. Pragmatism also believes that the curriculum should be able to help people become problem solvers. It should instill in learners the ability to solve their own immediate problems and that of others. So today you'll be there and someone will just come to you, oh, say, this is what I'm going through. What do you think I should do? That is why we need to show people how to solve problems, real life problems. So engage them in some of these activities. Was it yesterday or today? I saw a small girl in a class when they were entering, and maybe you might have seen it on Facebook. The lady, that's the small girl, well, all of them stood behind the gate, and unfortunately, there was a barricade that they had to find a way to dodge. Some of them were able to bend down low and pass under the barricade, but then there was this specific lady, young lady, who was still there crying, and they were telling. So we need, as teachers, find ways to present some of these practical ways to be able to solve problems. It is not always the case that we shall run to our parents to help us solve our problems. 1, 2, 3, then you just run and go there. That's not the best. So you see that this type of philosophy or this philosophy emphasizes subjects like physical training or physical education, social studies, mathematics, science, home economics, the things the things they will do, people will do to get the experiences, practical experiences, the hands-on learning activities are very important. For pragmatism, they are also interested in teaching methods like projects method. They are also interested in problem-solving method. Then learning by doing, that's hands-on learning. They prioritize such things. They also stress social discipline and it encourages making group decision. They also believe that discipline comes from purposive and cooperative activities, that we are able to get information and also get to learn from some of these things. We get discipline from some of these activities. And so these are some of the ways, if you are a pragmatist, you will have to do. See, if you are going to develop a curriculum in line with the pragmatist view, you will have to ensure that whatever you are designing, you will make it, you let the people demonstrate, you let the people engage themselves just to do such things. And it encourages seeking the interest of the learners who are going to be trained or who are going to consume the curriculum. So that is um, that is the pragmatist view about the curriculum. That is, if you want to develop a curriculum, you need to look at what they believe in and now make sure that whatever you are doing there will reflect their beliefs. Someone may also choose to blend them. You see, so it is possible that in a classroom, you will not be able to remember all the philosophies. It's possible. And people are supposed to learn all of these competencies to be able to become full individuals. So whenever they find, whenever they get into a problem or wherever they find themselves, they will be able to use such knowledge to solve problems or to be able to live peacefully within their environment. That is why it's very important. So someone may choose to blend or choose to merge the philosophies. Now we come to another philosophy, which is progressivism, progressive. And it is suggesting that ideas should be tested by active experimentation. So we are going to see some of the element of pragmatism here. They are saying that ideas, ideas, whatever you have in mind, should be experimented. If we experiment and that is the case, we now accept it. So about 3 months ago, level 400 regular students were completing, and we asked them to go and conduct some project works. The project works are very important. They tell us how you have been able to learn through the period, and now how you have acquired, how much you have acquired the skills to go and find solutions to practical problems. That's the essence of it. Now we gave them some tasks to do. They came and some of them went to do experiments. And in the experiment, they discovered that whatever they were saying, some of them were saying that the data, the evidence showed that whatever they had gathered were not the case, were not true. And so experiment is very good. Now, after they conducted the study and discovered that whatever they were saying was the opposite, they were informed, and all of us are informed now. So ideas should be tested by experimentation. They are also suggesting that learning is effectively promoted when learners interact with others through the use of questioning. So peer-to-peer interaction. How do they talk? Do they move hand in hand with each other? Do they regard each other? There are some classrooms where students don't talk, and it is not the best. If you're a teacher and you find yourself in such a situation, you need to find a way to bring them together, because learning becomes successful when the learners are able to interact with each other. So here you have to be engaging them in this group discussions, present them with a problem, then let them find a solution to such things. There are benefits after you've completed school. Your friends are very important, and so let us all try to get our study partners, and if it is possible, be free, with everyone in this class. It may happen that today you are going to, let's say, you are going to Koforidua. You are from, let's say, Bono, and you are coming to Koforidua for a program there, but then you don't know where to go and sleep, or you don't know anyone there. But you may have someone from this class who is coming from that side. You may want to go to the north. You are from, let's say, Cape Coast, and you want to go to the north for a program. You may have a classmate there. And so it is very important we learn how to live peacefully with people. Learning, therefore, becomes student-centered. When you're using the progressivism, that's when, because they are going to experiment with some of these things, learning becomes student-centered, and it is not teacher-centered as we saw under the perennialist. And also experience-centered. People, they get some of these experiences after they've gone through some of these things. Progressivism believes that the aim of education is to promote democratic and social living. So we need to pave way for other people to express their views. That is why we say there should be an interaction among the learners or between the learners. And we should be able to use this knowledge to promote democracy. Use education system to promote democracy. Okay. Any question? Well, so progressivism, or the progressivists, they believe that education should focus on the whole child rather than on the content or the teacher. That is, in other words, whatever you are teaching or in the school setting, we should consider the three domains in the learners, the whole child. So you are in the classroom, you see that this person doesn't like talking to people. As a teacher, what are you supposed to do? Bring them to board. They don't like doing things. As a teacher, bring them. Identify all of these things. But you see, if you are going to do all of these things, then it means that your salary and your motivation should also be taken care of. And we also need to consider the class size. Here, the whole of the child, everything about the child needs to be developed. Do you even know that you're supposed to watch their be concerned about their how do you call it, their dressing, personal hygiene, everything. You're supposed to develop everything in the learners. And let us not be more interested in just teaching the subject because the subject is important in itself, or the teacher sees that, oh, for me, I want to come and teach because I was born a teacher and I love teaching. So whether you like it or not, let me come and teach you. No, that shouldn't be the case. Teachers shouldn't be the prize. We should rather prioritize the interest and the whole being of the learners. That is the progressivist view. They also build the curriculum around the experience, the interests, and abilities of the learners. So, you see, we have developed the curriculum in line or to reflect your interest. Once you want to become religious, education, or studies experts, that is why you see that whatever we are giving you should be able to help you get some of these skills to go and teach the field or go and make an impact in the field. Okay, and your interest and your abilities have also been taken care of. So if you want to do that, you don't bring or design a program that is not in line or that the majority of the students do not like. They have interest. They want to learn pilots. Yes, they want to be pilots. You need to give, that's their interest. You need to give them what they will be able to do. Recently, one of my brother's children was talking about going to school. And he said, hey, you want to be an architect. And we're telling him the implications. He said he wants to do it. That is where the interest lies. And so the curriculum here, you see that whatever the person is coming to do will have to reflect in the curriculum. If you don't do that, you have harmed the child or the learner. The curriculum should be interdisciplinary. It should be integrative and interactive. So all of these things are talking about we pulling different ideas together and helping people to become problem solvers and also become experts, and also equip them with the necessary skills from the various disciplines to be able to solve real life problems. The students are also required to integrate several subjects in their studies. So all the subjects have something worthwhile to present. If that's the case, then we have to tap into the tapestry of these various knowledge to be able to become the expert we want our learners to be. And they also believe that the student is a problem solver and a thinker. And for that matter, we need to be able to also bring programs that will help them achieve such things. And the student makes meaning through their individual experiences. The student can also learn by doing. That is through experiments. They experiment. Then each student should be able to determine his own individual curriculum. And the teachers are supposed to be able to do that. So each student should determine his or her own individual curriculum. Okay, and the teacher should help them do such things. One will say, do students develop their own curriculum? Oh, it's like the curriculum experts and the subject specialist, they will come together to decide that this is what we want to do with. But then, you, the student, in the course of choosing, when you are choosing the program, it means that you have determined your own curriculum, the one you want to learn. That is why you see when you go to the SHS, or if you are in the primary and you are teaching Form 3s, when they are about registering, they'll ask you, Madam, what should I do? What should I do? What program do you think I should go and read? That is where the teacher is guiding them in that path. You get it? And so the student here determines after getting exposed to these various range of curricula that you need to that need to be taught. That's why someone will say, for me, I want to go into medicine. For me, I also want to go into, let's say, mechanical engineering. I want to go into teaching. And we are all proud of that. Okay. So effective teachers should provide experiences so that learners can learn by doing. You see, the focus here is experiment. Let the people experiment. As they are experimenting, they will be able to gather the experiences. And the teacher must promote active learning by introducing the learners to new scientific and technologies in the field you are talking about. So the teachers craft knowledge. How well do you know the tool of trades in the system? Do you know the current affairs in your field? What is happening? What is the trend? Where have we gotten to? The teacher should be able to get first-hand information on all of these things. How do you get to know? You need to be reading. You need to be engaging in personal discussion. You need to be engaging in conferences to know the trend. The trend. If you want to survive in this industry and you are able to talk with facts, you need not to stay indoors or be pained when it comes to reading. You're supposed to be engaging yourself in some of these personal development. And so that's why you were having the personal, I think, the personal learning community. Is it the PLC? Is it personal, professional learning community? That's why you were engaging in such things, just to be able to get abreast with some of the issues happening in current education. So teachers should also plan lessons that arouse curiosity. And in your lesson plan, be very fragile. Be opening doors for your learners to be able to engage in so many things where they will have the appetite to go and inquire or do further investigations. The teacher here is also supposed to push the student towards high order knowledge thinking and also help them construct their own knowledge. And so as teachers, you don't just say, for me, I don't care. I'll put in measures. Every teacher should yearn for his or her students to become better, to become better students. And be very happy when you see your students climbing up or going higher. But we live in a world where if you are doing well for yourself, you are going to be hated. People will hate you for nothing. I remember me getting employment and someone just coming to tell me that you when I started teaching, you were nowhere to be found. You were not born by then. Today you have been born. You have been born, and you are now a lecturer, and what you have been taking is more than what I have been taking since I started teaching. That's at the time you were not even born. But the money I'm taking today, I said, really? You, this woman, the person was a woman. I said, you, this woman, you have a very big problem. These people will try to hide certain things from you. But as a teacher, be very happy when you see your students are going higher. And any good teacher wouldn't prevent his or her children from excelling. A good teacher is the one who creates avenue and open doors for his or her students to strive. Okay, so it's very, very, very nice of you as a teacher when you're fond of doing such things. Okay, having said that about the progressivist their philosophy, we now come to the last but one, which is existentialism. Existential. Uh, and existential is talking about experience. We have existential approach to teaching of RME. We shall talk about that as we progress, where you are going to use the experiences of the learners to teach them. So we have existential um, philosophical foundation as a philosophy that focuses on human freedom. Mm, People have the freedom to engage in certain things to be able to gather knowledge. And so we believe that the individual is not a slave. The individual has a freedom to operate on it on her own, on her own, on his own. And so the existentials, the existentialists, they believe that there are no values outside human beings. That is, whatever that is determined right or wrong resides or it sits in the learner. It comes from the learner. And of course, it is we humans who come to say that this is right, that is not right. And so this philosophy emphasizes individuals' freedom to make choices. And after they have made such choices, the philosophy also calls them to be responsible for the consequences of their decisions or the actions they have taken. So you said you go to school. Now, in the course of the teaching, if you see that things are becoming tough, don't run away because you have said that you want to do that. Your mom and dad were telling you that don't marry this man. You said, oh, for me, I'll marry him. They were saying, don't marry this lady. But you had the freedom. Am I not the one who is going to sit by my thing? And you just told your parents that. Now, if you go and things are not going as you expected or anticipated, do you go blaming your parents for such a thing? You took such a decision, and it has now landed you in that manner. And so here you are supposed to be responsible. You have the freedom of choice. That's why UCC is the choice. The choice you have come. And so when the journey gets tough, you need to be responsible. You don't need to run. No one should run. Stand firm and see the victory that you get at the end of the day. You may be a product of UCC already, so you know the system. And so you will have to learn hard and be also you be doing some trying to be smart. Try to be smart. At times, being smart is good than being hard worker. But then blend the two. Be hard working and also be smart so that you'll be able to achieve more successes. That's by the way. So for the existentialists, they are saying reality, that is knowledge, is lived. In other words, knowledge or experience is what, let's say knowledge is something that you yourself, you have been able to live and have acquired knowledge on. Something that you have experienced and you have been able to acquire knowledge on that thing. So you went to do, let's say, online business, and unfortunately you got duped. You were playing with your phone. Let's say you just entered any number when you were just with your phone and your money got stolen, and today you have gathered such experience or someone spoke with you nicely and duped you. So today you have learned your lesson that it is not anything that glitters is good. For now, I am very careful. It means knowledge has been obtained or acquired from your experience. It is a fool who doesn't learn from his or her downfall. And in account we say kwasiantohwe intia supreme. So if you have the experience, we expect you to learn from it. Why are you laughing, Tete? So that's the fact. You went to follow someone's husband and you were beaten mercilessly. Now your face for 3 days, you were not able to come out. And so since then, you've decided that I have gathered knowledge from that I'll not go and follow any any one's husband. I'll not do such a thing again. It's experience. And so one is responsible in determining for him or herself true or false, what is right and wrong, handsome and ugly. And also knowledge is one's own unique perception of one's world. So some time ago, I was dealing with someone, the person saying, this is the case. I said, that is not the case. That is not whatever you are thinking. He said, no, 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 no. This is it. So the person was right. The person was right because it is the person's own unique perception of his world. The person is entitled to his or her own opinion. The person is right in his sense. So why should I come and waste my time debating you over the rightfulness and wrongfulness of something? Someone can choose to see what you don't see, what you see. So it is subjective. It is subjective. For existentialists, they believe that the students must be given the freedom to operate in the classroom and in the teaching and learning process. Let them be free to engage in certain things. So give them assignments. Now, in case you want to give them a term paper or something of that nature, just give them the area. Let them go and research into it. Now, let them come. It's a personal decision they will have to make, whether they will go and learn or they will not go and learn. When they don't learn, it is their own cup of tea. When they learn, it is to their own advantage. And so the students must be encouraged to make their own choice, their choices, and the student must be responsible for their own choices. I've given you the area, go and learn, and you don't go and learn. When a question comes, it's like you are the one who make such decision, and now it has gone against you. So you have to be responsible. Like, I don't know whether I was telling you this. I was telling you here some time ago. Was it yesterday? Yeah, I think I was teaching your seniors last 3 days. And we have seen that majority of the students in level 100, most of them were writing receipts. It is their personal decisions. Some of them, you see, they will say, oh, for us, our school fees was paid for us. In fact, it was reimbursed. Okay, it was reimbursed. It was refunded. It was paid to our account. So you not learn. If you not learn, you come and meet us. Don't learn. You come and meet us. The content are still the same, every day improving, but then they so if you are lazy, you cannot work, you cannot come. That's why I've been saying that please let us all be joining the online as we are here, as we are all going through, then we are learning. It's just like that. So when you pick the materials, you wouldn't be suffering. Please give us the areas as existential philosopher. I should give you the areas. No, I've also, because I'm also following that principle. That's why I'm giving you the freedom to come join the lecture. You said freedom. You have the freedom to choose whatever you want to do. But then don't forget, I'm also existential learner, that I have the freedom to operate. And in the course of operating, I will decide that go and learn this, don't learn that. So all of us have freedom we have the freedom, but then it determines who will laugh at the end of the day. Yes. That's just by the way. So the student must be encouraged to make his own choices, and the student must be responsible for his own learning. So if you don't learn, if you don't if you don't learn and you go for nightclubs and you start getting your C and the E D D, some of the students will get D D D D D D D D D. Some of them carry the devil with the cross. That's D plus. Some of them will get D, dog, 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 dog. And it's not their fault because it is the choice they have made. It's a choice they have made. Since I was born, I've never seen books coming to us that we should read them. It is humans who just go out there to look for the books to read. So if you not make a personal choice to go and read, it's your own cup of tea. And you drink and it will finish. So for the existentialist, they consider the student to be more important than the content to be taught. And therefore, the learner is given varieties of options from which they are to select. From which the students are to select. So you are very important to without you, we are nothing. Without you, we cannot go and be teaching decks. But then we'll give you the various options to be decided to be selected from. That reminds me of a story. A student some time ago, you see, we discuss some of these issues. I told the student when he was supposed to come to school, the student wanted to go into something different. It seems the person wanted to go into music. Music. And the parents were saying, music, yes, you have the talent, but we want you to learn. We want you to learn so that you'll be competent, you get something to rely on if you don't feel like going for programs. He said, okay, I've heard you. So you go to the school. When you are done, we will take care of that. He said, okay, I've heard you. Unfortunately enough, the student came, had admission, came because the interest was to go and do music. Like music, like the Shatawali, the Stone Boys, the Black Sheriffs. The student was not learning. To a point in time when the lecturer was chasing this student. He will chase the boy and say, hey, if you don't come, I'll fail you. If you don't come, I'll fail you. Then the student will come one or two. The third time, you will not see him again until you meet him in town. But then he chose to play that game till when he got to level 400. That was when he realized that he had committed a big blunder. He had worried himself. That was when he started getting serious with learning. It's a personal choice he made that I want to go into teaching. I want to go into music. And so whatever book I'll not read. By that time it was too late. And so in this case, what should he do? Must he go and buy a new form to come and start all over? Because he has spoiled he might have spoiled the level 100 time, the level 200 and 300. But when he got to 100 and the realities of life started dawning on him, that was when he realized. So it's a personal choice that he made, and this one you cannot blame him for that. Yes. So, Madam Salimatu.
Sir, please, I wanted to ask, with the existentialism, can we say their main focus is on the affective domain of the learner?
Yes. So for them, we don't really see where they are, but they are also believing that with this, you can develop the learner in all the domains. Develop the learner in all the various domains. But the affective is there, and one thing we fail to do is, for us, we in religious studies, we are more focused. We should be more focused on the affective domain. But Some people have decided to develop the cognitive domain. So the affective is good. We shall say that that one is bad, but then we are giving the learner the chance for him to decide for himself or herself what he wants to do in this life. Thank you so much for the question.
All right.
So, but then they are saying that education should be less formal and curricula, the various curricula should be diverse and it should not be common for all. So for this one, they preach against like core subjects. That is why you see that, oh, people are going to different, they are picking different areas. This I'll tell you, oh, for me, I want to go into plumbing, I want to go into carpentry, I want to go into teaching, I want to learn. So whatever knowledge you've gained, they want to now go and explore according to their interest and their abilities. And the curriculum is not common. It is not one as we see in the core curriculum for all. They also point out that that it is the duty of the teacher to create a conducive environment for the teaching and learning process. There are at times teachers' behavior put away students. Some students wouldn't be coming to class because in the classroom, the teacher will be saying things that are over the bar, that are not expected to be said. And that's when the student remembers, wouldn't feel like coming to class. Maybe the student came to class and he started talking about his or her culture. You see, for these people, this is how for party or for ethnic group A, this is how they are. They have been chewing snakes, they have been doing that, they have been chewing frogs. Oh, so all forms of delegatory comments. When you find yourself in such a situation, even you the teacher, you wouldn't feel so comfortable. And so because we want, the students are very important and we want them to have the ability or use their freedom to choose for themselves something worthwhile, we ensure that we create that kind of a conducive atmosphere where students will feel so calm and so free to operate without any interference. And here they're saying that the teacher must encourage students to think for themselves. They need to do that. Teachers also need to be frank and true to their students. We have realness. When you pick Carl Rogers, what the teacher is supposed to be real. You don't say, oh, for me, I am the son of the president of the land and this and that. Meanwhile, you have not even shaken hand with the president. You have not seen him before. You don't go out there to go and lie. Don't go and lie. You need to be real with them so that they will be able to embrace whatever they want to do. So they believe that the existentialists believe that the subject matter or the curriculum should be based on personal choice. The personal choice, that's where the students have the ability to choose for themselves. That's they start with the students rather than starting with the curriculum content. That is when you come to the classroom and say, what do you want to learn today? Although we expect you to teach the curriculum to be to be able to examine them. You see, we spoke about examination bodies as determinant of the curriculum, and they want to see that the students have been able to successfully learn and now be examined and pass their exams and get some rewards. But then the teacher may choose to, for me, I want to go and find out from my students. So it depends on the type of system that you are practicing. If you are practicing the decentralized one, it will not be all that difficult. But where you are practicing the centralized one, maybe as you are taking your time to concentrate on the development of the individuals, starting with the learner instead of starting with the curriculum. Maybe someone is busy teaching it. The same timetable, that the time specified for you, someone is using it. And so if you don't take care, you'll be leaving your student. That's where you start doing the. So at the end of the day, you will not be able to have them learning whatever is expected of them to have that change in mind. So when that happens, the heart will be placed somewhere. That's the affective domain will be placed somewhere, and we will concentrate on the cognitive domain. Right. So the essentialists believe that discipline should not be imposed on the learner because people have the freedom to choose whatever they want to do. We shouldn't impose anything on them. Let them rather choose. When they choose and they come, whatever be the consequence, it is their own cup of tea. It is their own choice or it's their own decision to make, whether they pass or not. We didn't impose everything on them. So they encourage students to accept any discipline which they consider worthwhile for the attainment of their goals. That is, anything or any field where they think this knowledge can help me as a student or as an individual to be able to become an important person in my field, they should be allowed, the students should be allowed to do such things. So here, the school, we are supposed to present them with alternatives, various options for them to select from, and also make available the necessary things, the necessary aids available so that the learners will be able to learn or be able to benefit from those things. Now, the last philosophy is called essentialism. Essential, and here essential means main thing or the basics, or someone say salient. Mhm. For the essentialism or for the essentialists, they require that the school curriculum should include a common body of knowledge that all students should know. So which of the types of curricula are we talking about here? Which curriculum will this type emphasize? Read
The
the
core
sentence.
curriculum.
Yes, the core curriculum. So that's why I'm saying they require that the school curriculum should include or should be a common body of knowledge that all students should know. Why should all students know? Another question, why should all the students know? Why should they all know? Why should the school curriculum be a common core, or let's say a common body of knowledge for all the students? Why? Let's see if you remember, we are doing assessment as teaching. Assessment as teaching. Who is talking? Why should the school or why should the curriculum be a common body of knowledge for all the students?
So maybe I will say they think it's important for the students to know in order to help them promote citizenship of the country.
Okay, that's good. Sir Tete, thank you, Salimatu.
So I also say that maybe they think it covers some or most basic aspect of their life, and with them knowing or with students knowing or for the curriculum to be core for all students will help them with their basic lives in terms of some basic things they are supposed to know and some basic things they are supposed to do so that they don't find themselves wanting as they grow up. Thank you.
Right. Thank you too. Thank you. So just to help them become problem solvers, be able to solve critical problems in society. So that's why he said the knowledge is essential. That's essentialism. That is their view about the curriculum. So from the perspective, education should aim at equipping the learners with the common core. the common core or the basics of information and skills needed for the promotion of citizenship. So as they are learning all of these things, they are going to become responsible citizens and again be able to contribute to societal development and also get the necessary skills to be able to solve the problem. So it of course emphasizes the core curriculum. They argue that this philosophy argues that the school should not try to radically reshape society. Rather, the school should transmit traditional moral values. The school should transmit those values. And the school should also provide the intellectual knowledge that students need to become model citizens. So you see, they are getting the knowledge to be able to do this. They are getting the knowledge to be able to do that. That is the focus. They believe that, so these are the subjects they emphasize. So for a person to be educated, he or she must know the 5 essential disciplines. That's command of mother tongue. The current debate about we using mother tongue. This is their view. So people should have command of their mother tongue and systemic study of grammar. So I was trying to ask, what's the rationale behind the use of the mother tongue? Because that has become the norm, or that is the topic for, should I say, the week. Then I was told that the idea is only to develop people speaking English, being able to express themselves in English. But then, not just mere expressing yourself in English, but then you should be able to understand. And research has shown that if you are able to, if people are spoken to in their own language, their mother tongues, they understand the issues. And so if that is the case, then whatever we are giving them should be done in P or in their mother tongues. But then there are challenges that come with it. If you are giving them the instruction in their mother tongues, how do you assess them? Will you assess them in their mother tongues or you assess them in English? Don't you think we are going to suffer if the students are even going to suffer when the instruction is given to them in that manner and they are not able to write or speak or write, understand and communicate in English? How do you assess them? Then unless you also choose to assess them in P or in their mother tongue or in their local dialect. So assessment will suffer. And who are those going to teach? Of course, that's the topic for the day, for another day. For us, let us concentrate on ourselves here. Essential. So they should learn about literature and writing. They should learn about mathematics. So it's just like the perennialist. They should also learn about natural sciences. They should learn about history and modern foreign languages, just to be able to survive and contribute massively to their communities. And the essentialists believe that the transmission of cultural heritage is very important because everyone must be abreast with whatever happens in his or her society. Don't forget, we said that for existentialists, they believe that the knowledge needs to be prepared or needs to be given to them so that they'll be able to live peacefully in their own communities. They will be able to contribute as responsible citizens to the development of their communities. And so the main goal of the existentialist is to develop the cognitive and the intellectual domains of the learners. And the curriculum of the essentialist is the academic subject, which comprises reading, writing, and arithmetic. So the 3 R's. Of course, for now we have the 4th R, That's creativity, the 4 R's. So when you hear reading, these as essentialists say they focus on developing the 3 R's, or the 4 R's now. So they also subscribe to subject curriculum as the pattern of curriculum organization, because they believe that the curriculum must be organized into subject areas, each of which represents a specialized and homogeneous body of knowledge that people will have to learn. So for them, they have so many things to talk about, and they also emphasize non-academic subjects like vocational education, physical education. So for them, they classify these as non-academic subjects. There are things that we shouldn't say that we are examining. There are things we shouldn't say that we are examining or subjecting them to rigorous activities, because of course they would demand the psychomotor and the affective domain. You get that? So we shouldn't say that we are subjecting them, measuring them. When someone feels you cannot push the person cannot do anything. Someone can just get the vocational training, but just that when the person cooks, it will be salty. That's the only problem. But then when experience is added, as time goes by, things will change. Some people are able to cook. When they cook, they don't feel like eating their own food. They don't like eating their own food. But who should come and eat for you? So essentialists also believe that there is a common core of knowledge that needs to be transmitted to the students or to the learners in a systematic and disciplined way. That is why you see that most of the time the core subjects. I remember going these SHS, we're paying extra fees for integrated science and mathematics. So that's why here we see emphasis is placed on that in a disciplined way. And I remember we were leaving our hostels, we were leaving our dormitories around 4:30 day, just to go to class and meet the teachers by 5 a.m. And we will learn through, I think, somewhere 7 a.m. Then we will break. So that tells you the emphasis that is placed on this thing, because it's very important. They believe that the students are to be taught to be culturally literate and to know about people, events, and institutions that have shaped societies. That is why, as part of the 21st century skills, we have a global citizenship. So learn about other people's culture. And it is also one of the aims of teaching RME, where we are going to learn about other people's culture and be tolerant of these various cultures we have. In one class, you can get about 50 ethnic groups represented there, or let's say 50 tribes represented in there, and all of them have unique ways to be doing some of these things. So we have what you call multicultural teaching competencies. And a teacher, you are supposed to get some of these skills. You are supposed to get that skills to be able to satisfy all the various cultural elements in your class. It's very important. You should be able to present the content in a way and manner that is meeting the demands of the various the various cultures in the classroom. So that's why we're saying you're supposed to be culturally literate. Know what to say. Someone may greet with the left hand, someone may greet bowing down, someone may greet sleeping on the floor. And you're supposed to know all of these things. Teaching is very beautiful, but it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak at all. So students must learn to respect authority, both in school and in the society which they find themselves. And they are also too immature to decide what they need to be able to learn. And so the school here is supposed to serve as a guide and direct them. That is why by the time you come, certain things, certain subjects would have been decided for you, because of course they are essential and they are important. But then you may not have the ability to choose them. For that matter, the school is supposed to be in the position to help you to select them. The existentialists, their views about the teacher is that the teacher should instill traditional virtues such as hard work, respect for authority, discipline, fidelity to duty, that is truthfulness to duty. They considering tolerance and practicality and other things. They should also be the sole authorities in their area of specialization to be able to guide the learners. So how specialized are you? Do you know the antics of your field? What is the current knowledge? What are the textbooks in your field? So of course, in your second year, second semester and third semester, you'll be going for your field teaching experience. You need to know the textbooks that are used in teaching religious studies. You're supposed to know the religious studies curriculum. You're supposed to know all of these things. By so doing, we say that you are an authority in your field to be able to guide your learners. Right. So we are done with these. Does anyone have questions? Any questions? Contribution. So which of these, ask yourself, which of these philosophies do you think is the best to guide one in developing a good curriculum? You need to be able to do that. Right. Having said that, we now move on to the focal points in curriculum. The focal points. So there are three main focal points in the curriculum and they give direction. They are the focus. They are the basic point where each curriculum developer starts from. We have the learner, we have the society, and we also have the subject matter. These things need to be considered whenever you want to design a curriculum because they have practical implications when you want to develop them. And so to have some practical decisions about a curriculum, everyone needs to look at these three things. That's the learner, the society, and the body of knowledge. That's the subject matter that needs to be transmitted. The learner, the society, and the subject matter that needs to be learned. And so there are basic questions that every curriculum developer is supposed to ask. Before you be able to do that, you need to answer these questions. And these questions are very important. These are the questions. So the first one is saying that so under the nature of the curriculum, or let's say the subject matter or the content, is saying, does the subject matter being taught adequately represent to the student the realities of the surrounding world? You get it? This is a question you need to ask. Does the body of knowledge I want to impart into learners, or we want learners to learn, do these information represent or present to the students, the learners, the realities of the surrounding world? Of what benefit will it be if whatever information you are giving to the learners will not help them to be able to live as reproductive members of their communities? They will not benefit from it. They will not get any sensible thing from it. And so you need to ask yourself this question. Does the way, again, we have that question, does the way the subject matter has been organized adequately reflect its own inherent logic? So you are saying that you want to prepare people who can teach the various religions in the various SHS out there. You ask yourself, does the subject, does that knowledge reflect the dictates or what the learners need to be able to go out there to go and become teachers who can handle the subject competently? You need to ask yourself that question. The subject within itself has something it wishes to achieve. Let's say you want to show people how to live as good citizens. Maybe you want to come up with a curriculum on political science, and in the curriculum you want to show people how to live as patriotics, and also contribute to their society, okay? Contribute to the well-being of their society. Now, we are asking that the information, the body of knowledge you want to, that's the body of knowledge you want to give to the learners, or you want to use to prepare people to become such experts, does it reflect what people are supposed to do? Better still, in other words, you cannot put a square peg in a round hole. You cannot say that you want to teach A and at the end of the day you end up teaching B. That's the inherent logic. Within itself, does the subject make sense? Does the content, does it help make people great? So you want to teach people how to become prostitutes. It wouldn't be logic. It wouldn't follow that trend if you go and show them how to be hairdressers or let's say nurses. Give them nursing content. That is not the best. So the curriculum or the subject matter you are giving them should reflect what you want to teach. Last time, a student suffered, and it wasn't, I should say, it wasn't any of us our fault. The person stated objectives 1, 2, 3, maybe defining what citizenship is, or what religious and education is, or what CRS is. Now, upon stating all of those things, then the person started teaching different things, maybe ways of being. Meanwhile, whatever had been stated was different from what the person intended teaching. So, whatever you are saying you are going to do that thing. The content or the subject you are designing. If you are saying that you are designing mathematics in RME, let us see that you have designed that. Don't design science in RME and name it mathematics in RME. I hope if you get the point. Now we move on to the nature of the society. Within the society, you ask yourself, does the curriculum sufficiently reflect a range of the cultural, political, and economic characteristics of the social context in which it exists? so that the students may fit into the society in the future, yet also be able to change that society. You see, it's a bit packed, but we are going to break it down. So does the curriculum adequately or sufficiently reflect the range of the culture, that the cultural characteristic of the social context? Does it reflect the political characteristics of the social context? Does it reflect the economic characteristics of the social context of where the students live? So that the student, after going through the program, will be able to come and help change it, be able to fit well within their societies and some of these things. So culture is a way of life. And so whatever curriculum you are given, ensure that it matches with the curriculum or with the political system, with the cultural system, with the economic system of the people who are going to use it. That is why you cannot impose and you cannot also import. You cannot import another country's curriculum. Then we are here, you just tell us you are going to bring Venezuela curriculum, or you are going to bring US curriculum, when we have our own cultural system, we have our own political system, we have our economic life, we have our social life that we are all living. And you are saying that you are bringing another person's curriculum. So whatever the curriculum is going to be, ensure that it is tailored or it matches the cultural, the political, and the economic life of the people, so that the learners will be able to learn, will be able to benefit adequately from it when they have to use such knowledge to help themselves. Maybe there is blood transfusion, or there is a business they want to engage in. They should be able to think through all of these things. What does our society endorse? What does our society doesn't like? They should be able to think about all of these things to be able to manage and come up with a good thing, that's a good program that they will benefit from. Oh, so sorry about that. The network is not, but it's being recorded, so you'll be able to get access to it. You'll be able to get access to it. Right. The last thing, yes. So this, the society, Ghana, our country is free forever, right? So you see, we are a society, and we have our own culture. We have our political system. That is why the LGBTQ has not been accepted, because it does not reflect the cultural characteristic of the Ghanaian people.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
And what about no caning in schools?
The no caning in school, you are bringing another big problem, of which if we should follow, it is something of us. That one, I should say that it is something of Bible, that is spare the rod and spare the child. Spoil the child, right? Spoil the child. So for that one, it is in our system. We were keen, but at least it got to a point in time when teachers were abusing such authorities. That is why they said, hey, if that's the case, it is not only caning or corporal punishment or spanking that can just bring a positive change in behavior. Is that our culture? Is that our culture?
So I think caning is part of our culture.
Really?
Yes, they cane us from infancy until you grow up.
They
So you
have caned us, and it was done everywhere. But you see, societies keep on revolving, we keep on growing. So the society has grown to the extent that when you look at those who have been caned or those who were being caned, uh, some teachers were using that opportunity to mesmerize and also to um, bully people. And so if that's the case, let us put it somewhere. Let us put it somewhere. So research has shown that it is not only punishment that can be used to mold behavior, but then the punishment and the caning, to be precise, has also been it was one of the ways our behaviors were shaped. And so we have to reconsider it. If you say it is a culture, all societies, it is part of them. But then it depends on you, the individuals in there. Now today they are talking about bringing bushy hair and bringing your honey and other things to classroom. Is that one also part of our culture? It's not part of our culture. In typical African community, we should have been done. We should have been doing how do you call it? Natural hairs, plating, and other things. But today we are taking it to classroom where we are doing white. In fact, we are bringing in with all sorts of hairstyles. So the spanking, it is something that we need to be talking about. But then I was talking about the issue about this LGBTQ issue, that the transgender issue, and we're talking about the comprehensive sexuality education. All of these were issues that we're talking about. But then, if you look at them or if you weigh them on the cultural characteristics of the society, then you see that they are upfront. They are not in line with whatever we believe in as a nation. If that's the case, then it wouldn't make any sense if we should bring that. So the nature of the society here has determined it. That's the usefulness, is the subject you are bringing on board, is the curriculum you are designing useful to the society? Is it going to be useful to us today and be useful to the future generation? If it wouldn't help, then let us take it outside. Let us take it outside. So this issue about, oh, we want to come with our hairs and other things. There will be a time where a student will say, for me, I have my hair on. You, madam, you also have yours on. Mine is even beautiful than yours. And there is nothing you can say about that. They will be in classroom when they are supposed to study. They will be plaiting their heads there. They will be brushing their heads and a whole lot of things. And we don't also have time in the SHS. We don't have barbering shops in the SHS. We are even fortunate that today we have chemicals that are able to help kill some of these lice, like AJ. And you have bed bugs, and someone is also having lice in the dorm. You can just imagine. You cannot stay there. So it is not appropriate for us to be doing some of these things. And this is also going, if we should continue to do such things, it's going to now also pave way for learners to engage in unnecessary competitions. Because some people are coming from well-to-do homes where their parents can just sponsor them. They can just do better hairs for them. If that should be encouraged, those who don't have money, but then they are pushed or they are being influenced by their colleagues. Okay, they are jealous of their colleagues' hairstyles. Will also be compelled to now go look for boyfriends and girlfriends who will help them to be doing some of these things. So if you don't take care, they will go and use what they have to get what they want. And by the time you realize, pregnancy will be everywhere. teenage pregnancy. We can't. We can't because there will be a competition.
Then some of the guys will also be coming to class with their Rasta hair.
Oh yes, they will be coming with some of them will also there will be a time where they will say, I am going to secondary school now. I want to go with earrings. So that it will be like, okay, you do no one tackles or talks to you about this. When that happens, trust me, teachers are going to be fed up and all of you will leave the teaching profession. All of us will be leaving the teaching profession. But the education system is meant to train. We are training you. Understand that you are not, you are getting knowledge. And that self-centeredness should be subjected. It should be put somewhere for some time. 2.5 years or 3 years is not such a long period that if you don't get your hair on, you will not do anything. People, when they feel and they are not getting school, that's when they see the need for them to have sat very well to study. I know people who are biting, chewing their fingers today. They say, had I known. But it is always the best teacher. Had I known, it's always best said after you've completed or after something has not gone well with you. So why should we risk the future of our children? Is that what we want for our children? And let's say our brothers and sisters and our nephews and our family members. No, that's not what we want. That's not what we want. Then people will be running from campus just to go to town, to go and get their heads washed, going to when you are supposed to go for preps, when you didn't understand a specific concept and you need to devote much attention to it, you are going to town to go and do washing. Even those university students who have time here, they have time here and no one is watching them. They are, most of them are crying. You don't have time. You don't have time as a student. So we need to be talking about some of these things. All right. The nature of the individual also needs to be considered when we are developing a curriculum. The question goes this way: does the curriculum sufficiently account for the interest and developmental needs of the individual students so that each individual may optimally benefit from it? Okay, so you ask yourself, does the curriculum represent my needs and my interests? And in the classroom, every person has a unique interest that the person wishes to achieve. And so you ask yourself, does the curriculum does the curriculum help me or aligns with my does it align with my needs? Does it align with my aspiration? Does it aligns with my interest? Will I be able to do what I want to do today? Whenever we're talking about interest, I didn't understand much. So I got to the master's level and the PhD level. That's when I said, So someone will complete and come. I said, so for me, I want to after national service, I want to go into maybe law. I want to go into a professional field. I want to go and do this. I want to go and do some top up and that. I said, this is where the interest of the person lies. So you ask yourself, does the curriculum that I am developing for the student, does it represent the developmental needs of the student I am going to develop the curriculum for? Because everyone has his or her unique needs. Maybe someone wants to go into military, someone wants to go into police, someone wants to go into law. All of them have something so peculiar, so unique to them that they want to achieve in life. And so if that is the case, ask yourself, does the curriculum I am designing going to help them so that they will benefit from it after they have gone through the program? So before you will be able to before you get admission, ask yourself, or you apply for any program of study, ask yourself, what will I use this knowledge for? Where will I go after here? What will I be able to do with this knowledge after I've learned? Some people will complete the school and say, this is not where I want to be. So some people are able to determine from the onset that from the inception that, for me, I am not going to this place. This is not where my interest lies. And so they will have to wait and plan towards such things. For me, I told myself I want to be a teacher. That was my interest. And so the curriculum developers have looked at they have looked at my interest, and they've looked at my developmental needs, and they have given it to me. That is why you are also expected to go through some of these courses so that you will be able to become what you want to become after learning it. All right. And so the three are taken into consideration whenever we are developing the curriculum, and their emphasis make it known. So what the curriculum developer is focusing, where the curriculum developer where the curriculum developer wants to develop, that's where you see that the developer will be emphasizing more. So it depends on what you are developing. Do you want to develop it to suit the learner, the society, or the importance of the subject? That is why you are teaching it. All right. So we have ended it here. 10 minutes of the time has been added to it, and it's very good. We have done that. We will end the lecture here, and God willing, Thursday continue from the scope and the rationale for teaching the new religious and moral education curriculum, and also look at the new religious studies curriculum, how it also works. And so I want to end here. Is there any question, any contribution? Okay. So if you have any question, yeah. Yusuf.
Yes, so thank you so much. I don't have any question and I don't have anything to add, but I just want to say thank you for your tireless support, and then whatever you have been doing for us, God will bless you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. God bless you too. God bless you all for coming.
Thank
We are
Amen.
all
Amen.
we are all in it together, and we shall cross it by next year. We shall all be graduating. And so let us all put in
God
the work.
willing.
We will be able to make it great. Until then, have a good evening.
Okay.
See you all Thursday.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank
Good
you,
evening.
sir.
Good night, guys.